Today I'm going to show you how to make tamarind concentrate from the actual pods. These are 100% raw natural pods of tamarind fruit, and we'll take it from there. So now that I opened the bag, this is what the pods look like, and they're pretty crunchy. So in order to peel them, what you have to do is really squeeze on them, and it cracks. As you can see, the crack open. And what we want to do is we want to take as much as that as possible. I know some pods, the shell is going to stick to it because originally when this pod was fresh, that inside, the pulp was pretty gooey. So it just sticks to the shell sticks to the pulp. So I'm going to peel them all, and then I'm going to put them in a pot of, I'm using 12 cups of water, and I'm going to boil them in there. So I'm going to start peeling them, put them in there, and then I'll get back to the video. Okay, now that I peeled them all, they're nice and peeled in the water. I'm going to boil the water for about 20 minutes. This will soften the pulp off of the seeds. Some people actually let this soak overnight, and they actually extract the pulp without boiling the water. One of the reasons why I boil the water is because I like to use the seeds. The seeds in tamarind contain a lot of nutrients and stuff that are very beneficial, including appetite suppressant. So that's one of the reasons why I boil. If you don't boil them, then using the seeds for that purpose does not work. So I'm gonna set the clock for. I'm gonna wait until it boils first. Once it's boiling, I set the time for 20 minutes. Okay, I forgot to mention that some of the things that you're gonna need, it's a strainer. I use this metal mesh strainer. That way it'll help me extract the pulp from the seeds. I use a big metal spoon for it. What I do is once the pods are nice and soft and the pulp is falling off the seeds, I put the pulp in here and I press it with the spoon, in a round motion like that. That way, all the pulp comes off of the seeds. And then I use a spaghetti strainer. Let me open it up. Spaghetti strainer to drain the seeds into a big bowl like this. So my water right now is still not boiling, and it's on the stove. It's ready to go. I'll get back to you when it starts boiling, or after it boils. Okay, my water started to boil right now, so I'm gonna set my timer on the stove for 20 minutes. Okay, set for 20 minutes, and after 20 minutes, when it's finished boiling, I'll get back to the video. While the tamarind is boiling, you may want to stir it every once in a while, just to make sure that those pods that are sitting on the top get processed in there through the hot water. Okay, so it beeped. 20 minutes are over. Our tamarind should be ready right now. I'm gonna turn it off, and I'm gonna move it off of the hot burner, and I'm gonna need Dawn to film because I need two hands to do this. I'll be right back. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, as you can see, the pods, they still have all the pulp attached to them on the seeds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it all up. And what I do, I'll take the strainer with the metal mesh and my spoon, take some of that, some of those pods, stick them inside the strainer, dip it in the water a little bit, and just in a round motion, kind of go around and kind of press a little bit. That way, as you can see, the seeds are starting to break up. The pulp is kind of breaking off of the seeds, and we're going to end up with all the seeds eventually. So you're going to repeat the same action several times. As you can see, you know, I've done it like about 4 to 5 times already, and there's still some full pods in there. So just keep on doing it until you see the seeds completely separated from the pulp. Now that I got most of it separated, you can see the seeds, and you can see that string is like a little vein that comes with in the pods. So what I'm gonna do is I'm now gonna strain it right there onto the big bowl with the spaghetti strainer, and then I will continue. I will do more of more extraction because there's still some left over in there. So I will continue the video when I'm done. So I mixed in all that, all those seeds and stuff. I put them back into the liquid. As you can see, they're all in there. So now I'm gonna pick up the pot and I'm gonna dump it into the strainer. This is what you see when you first dump it into the strainer. There's still plenty of fluid in there. You may want to use this spoon to move it inside the strainer. That way all of the fluid gets filtered out of there. Gonna add the bottled water. And I'm using bottled water because the water that we used before has been boiled, so it's, you know, it's clean of bacteria and what have you. So I'm using bottled water so that way I don't contaminate whatever I have there. So, and we just move it around a little bit. As you can see, it's turning, the liquid is turning brown again, so that's a good sign. We're getting most of the pulp out of the seeds. I'm going to grab the strainer and do the strainer part again, picking up all these seeds and dipping the strainer in the water, in the fluid, and with the spoon going in a circular motion inside the strainer, it pulls out, you know, pretty good portion of the pulp. As you can see, we have extracted most of the pulp out of the pods. So we see a lot of seeds now. And remember, don't get rid of the seeds, because I'm going to show you how to prepare the seeds. I'm going to make a little powder out of the seeds, which is consumable, and it has a whole other gamut of health benefits that they offer aside from the pulp. I'm going to put the seeds all back into the fluid, into the liquid. Mix it well, and we're going to strain it again with the spaghetti strainer into the bowl. pot. I'm gonna pour it right into. Right to there. So all the fluid is out of it. As you can see, there's a lot of seeds and some of those veins. That's pretty much all you should see in there. A little bit of the pulp is left in there, but it's normal. Sometimes they have like a little skin. The pulp between the seed and the pulp is like a little skin, and that's probably what you're gonna see there left over. As I mentioned before, don't get rid of the seeds, because we're going to use the seeds for something else later. But this is the final product. It's 100% tamarind concentrate. And I'm going to show you one of the ways that I usually use the tamarind liquid like this. It's in a drink. I drink it. I'm going to show you real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we're talking about the tamarind liquid already. This is concentrated, and what I do is I usually serve myself about 1/3 of a cup like that, 1/3 of whatever glass or container you're using, and then I fill the rest with water, and I make a nice drink. It's very refreshing. It really takes the thirst away. I also use a sweetener, but I use this stuff, which is it's pretty much 100% natural. As you can see, it's verified, and is glyceride, which is it's something that your body needs anyway. So I add a little bit of that. It's very sweet, so don't put too much on it. And then I'll add the water, and then I have a nice refreshing drink. And it is delicious. Now I'm going to show you what to do with the seeds. Here are the seeds. These are from some batch that I did before, because you got to separate the seeds and let them dry. You got to make sure they're nice and dry. You can see the seeds. What we're going to do, we're going to take a kitchen towel like so. I'm going to place the seeds in there, all the dried out seeds. We got to break them up a little bit, so make sure you tie them nicely. Nothing is going to fall off. They're in there. They're in there. And what you want to do, you want to take a hammer and you're going to hammer them down. So I'm going to go do that outside. Okay, we're outside. Some of my seeds, I already started breaking some. So you take a seed and you want to hammer it down until it cracks. It's a little bit of work, but it's worth it in the end. Like I said, there's a lot of benefits to the seed powder. In some countries like India, they actually roast them and they extract the white part inside, and they use it as a snack like peanuts. But some of the nutrients and some of the qualities that this powder has is encapsulated within that brown shell. So I don't want to lose that. I want to make sure I use it. So I'm going to break up all the seeds, and then I get back inside, show you how I grind it. Okay, here are all the seeds all cracked open and crunched. And the reason why I do that is because I don't have a strong enough grinder for it. You can use a flour mill. They're cheap enough. I just haven't gotten one. What I do is I grind this in my coffee grinder. So in order to do that, I need to break it up first in order, for the grinder to be able to do its job. So I'm going to show you how I grind them in a minute. Okay, we're back in the kitchen. Here is my seeds. Here's my coffee grinder. I just take some of those seeds, put them in the coffee grinder. You want to make sure you get a nice consistent powder-like substance. As you can see, it's almost like the stuff you get in capsules and things like that. You want to strain this as well, so that the bigger particles you can extract them and put them back in the grinder. Now for that, I'm going to use a smaller strainer. It's a little tiny strainer. I'm using a plastic bag in this case. Actually, let me get a little bowl. So here we are. Here's my powder. Put it right into the strainer. Okay. I'm going to strain that as much as we can. Let me shake it a little bit. As you can see, we got some bigger particles. I'm going to put this back in the grinder and grind them a little more. And here's some of the powder that we can use. The powder, what you want to use is you want to take per day, you can drink 2 8-ounce glasses of Tamarind, and on each glass you want to put half a teaspoon of this powder. So it's one teaspoonful a day to about 16 ounces of Tamarind per day, and that helps. Like I said, I'm going to give you a whole list of all the health benefits of this stuff, and then you can take it from there. So in the end, after doing the seeds, you end up with some nice powder stuff. And I'm going to actually add my half a teaspoon to my drink right now. I'm gonna mix it. There you have it. Nice drink, refreshing, and it's gonna suppress your appetite for a while. Not to mention all the health benefits that it has.